What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Incoming. I'm here with the host of Incoming, Mr. Parth Gugnani, my man, the legend, the only person that supported me when I started that JMA page, the man himself. And man, hey, we have some pretty crazy combat sports news as of the last hour or two. Anthony Joshua knocked out cold on his ass. And Parth, I want your thoughts on this.
I never thought. The time he knocked out Francis, I thought he could beat him in MMA. But my dumbass thought that he could beat in MMA, and he just got knocked out. So I was wrong, man. There's levels to this game. Usyk just beat him, like the guy. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm gonna get embarrassed. But Usyk just beat him, and Anthony was planned to fight Fury, right? But Fury got knocked out by Usyk, and Usyk knocked out this guy that one was fighting Anthony tonight, and tonight he knocked out AJ. So Wilder got knocked out, then Fury got knocked out, and then now AJ, bro. There are levels to this game, and it's just so hard, man, to watch.
Yeah, when it comes to boxing, truthfully, I don't quite. With the UFC, you have the rankings that you can look at. It's very obvious they're putting the best against the best. The issue I've always had with boxing is that you really hardly ever see the best against the best. That's starting to change in the last couple of years. It's getting a little better, but that's part of what makes the UFC so compelling, is that we constantly have situations like, build-ups to things like Volk versus Islam, where it's like these two fighters where it's like, we really don't know who's better here, and eventually we find out, right? But that's the beauty of it. But it is interesting in boxing to see kind of this like triangle of people who beat each other. It's very weird, very interesting.
So let's talk about the UFC, man. Like, I wanted to ask some questions about the UFC, like Sphere. This Sphere was amazing. It was amazing. No doubt about it. It was very amazing. It was like Dana White said, it's just like one and done, like one event, not more. So
Right.
It was kind of good, but it was not the fights. It was not like kind of worth it. Like the experience, yeah, but fights, I would say no. What do you think about that?
Right. Yeah, well, that's, Dana said it best in the post-fight press conference. Immediately after, because as soon as he was asked about the co-main and the main event, you can put on the greatest spectacle, the greatest live event in history, like you referred to it as, much of the time in the build-up, but you can't control fights. The thing is, fight fans have to understand that, like, that's part of what makes it so special in the first place. It's not like WWE, where it's more of like a show, and there are some surprises and twists and turns, but it's manufactured. The beauty and the reason that the UFC is so compelling is because it's not manufactured, and you don't know what you're about to see. Unfortunately, that comes with a lot of side effects, such as your co-main and main being somewhat of a snooze fest at the greatest live spectacle that the UFC's ever put on. It was still a great love letter to Mexicans, and I thought that was incredible. It was, I think, a pretty groundbreaking usage of the Sphere. I think we're going to start to see a lot of spring events at the Sphere, at least for their championship game or series and things like that. I think they definitely broke ground on that. But we might have to wait until things get a little cheaper on that side of things. Obviously, they spent a reported 8 to 10 times more on this show than they ever spent. So I don't know how much of a profit they actually ended up turning. But no, it was an incredible night up until the co-main and main event. Honestly, it was. Up until those fights, it was what it was. Now, from a competitive standpoint, though, how can you blame Valentina or Merab for going about those types of game plans against their opponents? Valentina got knocked down in the last fight, which when has she ever been knocked down? Because she messed around on her feet a little too much, and she wasn't as sharp on the ground game. That's why Alexa was able to get out of those situations and give her an apparent 10-8 round, right? So, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of just like you can't blame them for going about those game plans. But I have a photo on my phone. I think my brother took it, of my oldest brother who hosts these fight nights. He's always so excited for us to come over. Literally open mouth sleeping during the main event as Sugar Sean's getting laid upon. So. There's nothing you can do about it, right? It's part of why we love the sport, and it's going to come with side effects too.
Yeah, people, as you said, we can't blame them. Like, Merab is a wrestler. Like, just imagine people love strikers, right? And just imagine in the world, people love wrestlers. It would have been entertaining for them, right? at that time now.
Right.
At that point. So as a wrestler, he did what he could. He did what he could, like the most. And the same goes to Valentina. Valentina lost 2 fights in a row, and he showed levels to us. Like in the first fight, I was like, okay, yeah, like GSP said at one point, yeah, it was like it wasn't just one mistake that could lead you to a title.
Right.
And in the second fight, I don't think so. Valentina won. I don't think so. Alexa won, because the last round, Mike Bell, best censored that.
Yeah, I mean, well, no, I mean, it is what it is. You can't really, if you read the criteria, you can give that a 10-8. You really can. I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying, according to the criteria, you can. It's not crazy. Right. Yeah, I remember one of my last. Yeah. No, but that's, I don't know. It's a crazy sport, man. It was incredible, but those last 2 fights, so I'm not going to say they tarnished the Noche UFC event, but it is kind of a thing, right? And that, I don't know. Merab is not the most exciting fighter in general, so it's like, oh, okay, now that division has a very non-flashy champion, which again, it comes with the sport, Yeah.
So, John, I want to ask you about Belal Muhammad's next opponent. Who's it going to be?
Right.
Kamaru Usman, Shafkat, or JDM? What do you think? And after that, I'm going to tell my opinion on that.
Well, Usman's coming off a loss at welterweight, so it doesn't really make sense to give him a title shot. He's coming off a loss at middleweight too, but that was an impressive performance. I don't know. I want to see Usman fight someone soon. I want to see Usman versus Shafkat, to be honest. JDM, I don't know. He beat an obviously in decline Gilbert Burns, and so I don't really know that he also barely beat him. So I don't know that warrants. I mean, it's hard to say that he'd finish him, but you get what I'm saying. It was like, could have gone either way if it went to the final horn. But yeah, I don't know. Welterweight's kind of at a weird spot. I would say out of the 3 of them, Shafkat makes the most sense, I think. But I don't know. At the same time, I'd have to take a look at the rankings. One person I can promise you who does not deserve a title shot is Mr. Colby Covington. So that we need to just pretend isn't even in the conversation.
Yeah.
So
just listen to me. So the one point, Izzy got a title shot just after his loss. Like to Sean Strickland. He got a title shot against DDP. And we all know that. We didn't say anything. So, I think Usman, or if not Usman, I think JDM should get the title shot. Shafkat, Shafkat just beat who? He beat Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, who is 40 years old.
And Jeff Neal. He finished Jeff Neal.
Jeff Neal wobbled Shafkat. He almost dropped him. He almost finished him in the third. Almost.
Yeah. I know. Shafkat finished him.
Yeah, 100%. He finished him. But the thing I'm showing you, the thing I'm telling you, is Jeff Neal was able to was able to finish Shafkat. And people are saying Shafkat is a boogeyman. People, I'm not against any fighter. I respect every single fighter, but 18-0, 18 finishes, 100% finish rate is very crazy for the UFC. Second thing, his opponents, JDM had the last opponent, Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns, very good, very well-rounded fighter, dropped Khamzat and Usman, the first man to drop Khamzat and Usman. And give Shafkat Gilbert once. Give him one. Just Gilbert once. If he beats Gilbert, I will just put tape on my mouth.
But how do you put Gilbert against Shafkat when Gilbert's coming off a loss now?
Yeah, so MMA math doesn't work. It doesn't.
I'm not saying. No, all I'm saying is wouldn't it make sense to give Sean Brady to Shafkat? Wouldn't it make better sense?
Yeah. It does make sense. I think Sean Brady or Usman or maybe JDM. Shafkat should fight someone. You think after Wonderboy he should get a title shot after beating.
But not just off the warrant of beating Wonder Boy, but off the warrant of having finished Jeff Neal, finished Wonder Boy, who doesn't really get finished, right? And then being 8-0, undefeated, finish rate. Okay, so the other things that go into that is this, like, you can't say, okay, and now I'll be in agreement with you, right? That, like, okay, Izzy did get a title shot off of a loss. But in general with that, right, I don't think someone should get a title shot off of a loss, but with the circumstances of the middleweight division, it made sense. In this case, Shavkat's coming off of back-to-back finishes, 18-0. How does that not warrant a title shot in your mind? Especially when there's no one else. JDM is like, okay, you could say, right, JDM, if you want to talk about almost finish or whatever, he didn't do that good against Jeff Neal. Did you see JDM against someone who literally short notice first fight in the UFC? He arguably lost the fight, right? So it's like, if you're gonna, all I'm saying is this: if the logic you're using is the performance of the fight, then you can't give a title shot to JDM because he had a bad performance against someone coming off on short notice who was making their debut. Okay, I just don't think we should go via that logic. I think we should say the result matters more. He finished Jeff Neal. He finished Stephen Thompson. Who's the last person to finish Stephen Thompson? Anthony Pettis, like a long time ago. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. To me, Shavkat deserves a title shot. And here's another thing. They're very careful. They're very strategic with who they obviously matchmake because they don't want to kill anybody's star. Usman right now, to me, is the boogeyman because you can put Usman against either of these guys, he's going to win. That's the thing. He's going to beat them, in my opinion. Did you see him against Hamza? Up a weight class? Short
My
notice?
favorite fighter. Kamaru Usman is my favorite fighter, man. I'm biased. I'm biased.
There you go.
Bro, tell me one guy on the roster in middleweight, in like welterweight, and like light heavyweight that can fight Hamzat on 10 days short notice. No one was fighting Hamzat except Usman.
And
In the
he's
middleweight,
down a weight
in
class.
the
A weight class. It's insane. I know. No, Usman's a legend, bro. He's an absolute. I would refuse with that last performance against Leon, but other than that, he's an animal.
No, that's the thing with Usman and Volk, right? They didn't take that much rest. They were like, yeah, we're going straight to that title back again. We're going to get that title back again, but they didn't.
Right.
But people, bro, like you made a video about it. MMA fans suck, man. They suck.
Yeah.
They do suck, bro. Usman did everything and whatever, and the time his reign, like this title run was going on, no one appreciated him, and now people are starting to appreciate him more. Volk, Izzy, the people that like now obviously these three guys were at the top, like pound for pound 1, 2, and 3. People are appreciating them now. They were not doing that before, like when they were champions.
Of course.
So, like, what does that mean? Like, you should appreciate the champion, man. Like, it doesn't make sense now. People are saying Usman is washed up, like he's coming off for 3 losses. Bro, tell me one fucking guy that can fight Khamzat on 10 days notice. One guy. No one wanted to fight Khamzat in welterweight division, in the middleweight division, on 10 days notice. Usman came from welterweight division and still was able to beat Khamzat in 1 round and didn't get finished, right?
No, he hurt him on the feet too. That jab was money. If you remember that fight, he was hurting him. Yeah. So. Well, I don't know. I don't remember that. But no, the welterweight division is really interesting. One thing's for sure. This is what's really frustrating about it. None of these people are going to beat Belal. None of them. None of them are going to beat Belal. None of them are going to beat Belal. He's not beatable right now. He's really not.
See, I'm saying it right now. If they give him Shavkat, Belal would beat Shavkat. JDM, he would beat him. Usman, not 100%. No, 100%. If he beats him, You'll tell me whatever.
Well, I think it's a listen. I think skill, they're probably evenly matched. I think Usman would probably outsmart feet, but what I'm saying is the physical prime that Muhammad is in versus, I just think age-wise, unfortunately, Usman is a little bit over the hill compared to Belal. He's got that weird physique where it's like, okay, you're taking that real secret juice from Paulo Costa and it's working to the maximum effect. Like, it just, you can't stop him, I feel. He's not going to be stoppable for another, I think, 3 years maybe, and his body maybe starts to slow down. I'm not saying he's going to have the title that entire time, right? He's been knocked out by Vicente Luque, so someone can get in there and do it. But I don't know. I don't know. Leon made me lose faith that any striker has a chance against him, and if they're wrestling, there has to be a discrepancy in physical prime, and I think he's in his prime compared to Usman.
If I had to choose the best striker in the welterweight division, it would be Leon, man, because he's one of the best strikers. He's so sharp, so sharp. His elbows, his knees, his jabs. It's so sharp and accurate and fast. Like he did against Usman, right? The thing he did against Usman was crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. I really don't like how he's not much of a finisher. He doesn't really even hurt people with those elbows. It's weird. He's a weird fighter, for sure.
But I don't know. I was like, everybody thought like Leon's going to finish Belal. He was about to in the fifth round. Like he opened Belal with the elbow.
No. Yeah. Just needed more time. I don't know. There wasn't enough urgency. What I really didn't like from Leon was just how sloppy he looked on like the takedown defense. It was like there was nothing there, bro. Like, I don't know. It was weird.
The dent in the head was bad.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird night. I don't think he'll be champion again, but
yeah, he can't. Who is he gonna beat now? No one.
Well, Leon. Okay, so I think I think Leon. I think Leon beats everyone except Shavkat. I think Shavkat beats Leon.
Shavkat beats Leon.
JDM does not beat Leon.
Yeah, of course. Leon can beat JDM. The thing about Leon is, every time that I've noticed, he was not nervous about Belal. He was not nervous about no one. He gets nervous with Usman very much. He's like focused, and he's very nervous with Usman. He's in the first fight, the time he was like getting knocked down, like he was like pounded with punches and all that. He was getting dominated by like 4 rounds. It was 3-1, right, till the 5th, and he was very nervous. Like Usman broke him, but like as Usman said, like the time, like every time, the time he broke him, every single round he broke him. But the thing that was favorable, the thing that made Leon the champion was his mindset. He came back every single round. He came back with a different mindset. He was like, no, I can't quit. Like when you get dominated as Khabib said, when you get dominated for 4 to 5 rounds, like it's crazy. Your mindset just develop like your mindset gets like crazy. Your mind is crazy now. You can't do the same again. But the thing with Leon is he came back every single round, and after getting dominated 4 rounds, like almost 5 rounds, he was dominated. He was dominated the first 4 minutes of the 5th round, but still he came back in the last minute, man.
Yeah, it's incredible. No, the mindset's really 100% of what it is, and it's crazy because like I just don't know what that was with Belal. I mean, he kept coming back. That's why he was able to hurt him in the last round. But it's just like, I don't like how it takes 5 rounds to come online like that. Obviously, I'm not in there, though. I'm sure it's a lot harder, easier than done. But yeah, welterweight's a weird one, man. Where's Colby go?
I like maybe gonna be a backup fighter for another fight, and after that.
This is what makes me so sick about him is he tries to. He's such a weasel if he wants to be a backup fighter. He needs to face Poirier. Poirier needs to come up to 170 and knock him out.
I think there were rumors like Kobe's fighting Ian next. There were rumors for that. Yeah. But I don't know if that's happening or not.
Colby doesn't fight. Colby does not fight. He doesn't fight.
At all.
Doesn't fight.
So, the next thing I'm gonna ask you, man, John. Wait a minute. Let me tell you something. John Jones is the best fighter in the
Yeah, well, no, I actually didn't know that.
If you put someone with John Jones, it's about that. If you put two guys in a room and who comes out, John Jones will come out every single time. Every single time. You cannot debate on that.
Yeah, well, listen, I think there's a misunderstanding with Dana White's point of view on this. I really do. People think that Dana White is saying that he's the number one pound for pound fighter in the world right now, and I think if he is saying that, he's wrong. But I think what he's saying is the greatest pound for pound of all time. There's no debate about John Jones' resume. If you stop time right now, freeze time, that's the end of fighting history. Who's the best? You have to admit it's John Jones. He was the youngest champion, right? At one point, youngest champion of all time. I think he might still have been. He's 21 years old, I think, or 22. He just killed, bro. He killed everybody though. He wasn't close. Like no one gave him a close fight until Gustafsson won. And then did you see Gustafsson too? He destroyed him, bro. He destroyed him. He put that one completely to bed. That whole rivalry. And then obviously the Dominic one. I think he didn't train for that fight. That's my theory. I don't think he trained at all for that fight. So, but he took Dominic's soul because he's never been the same since. Sorry, I can't hear you. Go ahead.
So, like, the thing is, right now, the best pound for pound is Islam. No doubt about it, right? Like, for me, it should be Alex as well. The times he's fought, like, the ways he's fought, he's finished everybody.
Yeah, no, he hasn't. He didn't finish Jan. You saying Alex Pereira? He didn't finish Jan Blachowicz, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't. But the kind of performance he's given us is crazy, man. He's fighting everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
He's saying no to, like, he's not saying no. He's saying yes to everybody. He's not scared of no one. But the thing is...
I think... Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
What do you think about Tom Aspinall? Like, what do you think about John Jones not fighting Tom Aspinall? Like, just give me one opinion. Like, I'm not saying John Jones is not scared of no one. Like, just let me clear you that. But John Jones is not scared of no one. But why is he not fighting Tom Aspinall? Just give my opinions on that.
I think Tom Aspinall has had a real hard time becoming a star. He's been a star overseas, but he has not really been a star in the U.S. And I think that that's a big part of it. If you remember early, John Jones was like, "Who are you again?" And it's incredible because Aspinall has this incredible resume, right? And he's, he wins in flashy fashion, whatever. But I think Tom Aspinall has a lot left to prove. He did a good amount of that proving against kids, but for whatever reason, the heavyweight division just doesn't really have enough of, I think, a roster to go through to where at least today, to where it would be impressive if he finished all of them, right? Tai Tuivasa, Jair Rodenstrike, Sergey, the way he did. It's just still not. I just don't think it's enough to grab the attention of a John Jones. John Jones, like, and Stipe. Personally, Stipe didn't make any sense to me at all because Stipe. I mean, I want you. Okay, I could go off about this. Dana White is like, "Oh, what am I supposed to tell Stipe to do? Take a hike?" I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, you've told more deserving people that in the past. There's been more deserving title challenge. You told Leon to take a hike for years, bro, before you gave him a title shot, right? So, like, why does this older, on the brink of retirement, guy coming off a knockout loss to who you don't even want in the UFC anymore, deserving of a title shot at heavyweight after almost 4 years, his last fight, versus Aspinall, Blades, whatever, these fighters that have been active. Aspinall, who has destroyed everybody. He's the current best heavyweight in the world, many people believe. Like, I don't know. It just, to me, the Stipe thing doesn't make sense. But comes to John Jones, he's John Jones, and he calls his own shot because he's one of the stars of sports ever seen. And if he's at the point where he's genuinely interested in one more fight and then retiring, it actually wouldn't make sense for it to be Aspinall, in my opinion. It's a weird thing, but when you're John Jones, I mean, there's a certain price tag on the name that is John Jones, and I don't even think you can even get there with Aspinall. He's just not a big enough star. Competitively, it's wrong that they had to defend an interim title. I think that that's so wrong. But logistically, from a business perspective, which if you notice, that's a lot of the motivation behind the decisions they make matchmaking-wise, you got to understand what they're doing. So that's my opinion.
Jones is making good decisions. He's making it deserving is gone, but as for resume,
Yeah.
because and you said, I mean, okay, Tom, just after beating what's the 45,
Yeah.
that just weeks notice or like 2 weeks notice came, like Tom came on Anthem
Yeah.
travel. People, it's in the
It's not very much. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah.
the right thing. He would improve his resume by not
Right.
like it's not his resume John is by he knows he can beat just by beating straight and getting high, no
Right.
like that. You know, amazing job. To be honest,
Yeah.
I don't think so this time. Okay, striking is on another level, but John has fought every single one. Do you think like Rampage Jackson, Gustafson, Dominic Reyes in his prime, we see the kind of guys John Jones and their prime. John get him.
No, not them. No, not them. No, but the issue now is just going to be again that age thing, right? So Tom is in his physical prime, and John is probably not, right? So it's like, I think that's another reason that John doesn't want to fight him. It's like there's a bit of that like, okay, well he has so much to lose and nothing to gain. If he beats him, it's like you were supposed to beat him, But if he doesn't, that's come on, having a perfect career and going out on an L to the up and coming generation, which is almost like, they always say like you don't retire from MMA like MMA retires you. It would look like that, right? Because it'd be like, okay, this guy who's undefeated stayed in there too long. He wants more of like a swan song, as they say, like a going out on terms type thing. And you get that with Stipe, you don't get that with Aspinall. Yeah, that's the issue. The issue is if he beat Aspinall, he was supposed to, right? So.
What do you think about the middleweight division? Like the light heavyweight is just surrounded by Alex. I don't even talk about that. The bantamweight, like okay, Aljo, like Aljamain Sterling just got hurt. He's out of the fight against his fight in the next pay-per-view. Who's against I don't know his name. I don't want to say his name. Musayev, Kalanayev. I don't know.
Who are you talking about?
He was against that Russian guy. The guy that beat Diego Lopez.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't want to say his name.
Yeah, it's all good. Well, what about him?
Like Aljo was booked to fight him.
Yeah, he fell out due to injury. Yeah.
So I don't want to talk about that because obviously someone's going to fight him. And bantamweight, like now lightweight, obviously Islam. What do you think Islam Islam should fight next for the second title, or
No. No, there's more people for him to defend at lightweight. He doesn't run that division just yet. Obviously, he's the best, no one that can beat him, but he needs to keep fighting at lightweight. There's no way around it. I think I want to see Max Holloway come up and challenge him for the title. I think him versus Max Holloway. I would just want them to stay on the feet because they probably are evenly matched in the striking, and that would be magic, dude.
Exactly. But other than Islam versus Max, I want to see Ilya versus Max. That
I really
very
want to see. I want to understand him better. It seems like this unbeatable whatever, but I don't know. I think Max could beat him.
See, that's the people don't understand. Like, Ilya fought a lightweight guy, low-ranked lightweight guy. He once fought, and he was knocked down by that guy by a head kick. But the recovery time was crazy. He just got dropped and he went straight to his legs. He grabbed him. He was safe. He recovered and he knocked out. He knocked out. Bro, like, the best boxer right now, I would say it's Ilya Topuria. His boxing skills against Josh Emmett, right? You went there.
Yeah.
So his boxing is crazy. The best boxer in the UFC is not Max Holloway, is not Dustin Poirier, is not Peter Yan. It is Ilya Topuria right now. His boxing level is crazy. If he was in boxing, he would beat everyone. I would say this right now, 100%. Ilya's boxing is very crazy. He's technical with it. He's accurate with it. His speed, his power is crazy, man. He knocked out Volkanovski. He knocked out so I was saying he knocked out the guy, the lightweight guy, after he got knocked down.
Jai Herbert,
Yeah. So the time. So people are saying Ilya's going to knock out Max. How? So MMA math doesn't work, right? But I'm gonna say it this way. Max Holloway beat Justin Gaethje, who was like the number 1 contender or number 2 contender. Okay? So, for the BMF title, Max dominated Gaethje and still pointed it out. Still, he pointed to the ground. He was dominating, but still pointed to the ground. He didn't need that. He could have just been, been the distance and, throwing, he could have just thrown jabs to win because it was just 10 seconds left. He could have just won easily, but he pointed it out. That is something that makes Max Holloway the BMF of the UFC. And as I said, Justin Gaethje was number 1 or number 2 contender in the lightweight division, and Max dominated him. But Ilya wasn't able to dominate, or obviously the result matters. But the thing is, he got knocked down by, he almost got finished if he didn't recover at that point. But if you got knocked down like that against Max, I think he's going to finish you. He's going to straight come at you. He's going to throw every single thing he can. The experience matters. He's fought every single one. But the thing that makes me that makes me crazy to think Max fought everybody, but I don't know. He lost to Alex 3 times. I don't understand that. How?
Well, it's just styles make fights, man. That's really what it is. It's just it. I think Volk was the best at that time. That's what I think. I don't think anybody could have beaten that Volk. And I think after the Islam loss, I think Volk changed a little bit. That's what happens. We see this. But the fact that Topuria could knock him out, no, you're right about the power thing. That's just insane. It was 1 punch that knocked him out 1. And then, so yeah, I don't know. It's just, you can't, the MMA math will screw with your head if you think about it too much. It doesn't really work that way. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I really, really want to see that fight between Topuria and Max for sure. Because I want to know who the better boxer is. I think my camera actually just recently, because hold on 1 second here. My camera froze, probably because my desk is wobbling a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. I'm back. But we're at 37 minutes now with the recording. I'm going to cap it off there. Any final thoughts, Parth, on just the UFC, the current state of the matchups and all that?
I think the October, the Abu Dhabi card is always crazy. Hamza, Robert, Max, and Ilya. Everything is just crazy.
Yeah.
Ilya, they're fighting at Abu Dhabi card, right?
Yeah.
That is crazy, man. People were saying like Sphere is a good card, UFC 300 is a good card. Bro, average Abu Dhabi card is crazy.
Yeah.
Like no one can match that shit. So the upcoming UFC fights are crazy. So better watch out.
No, man, it's incredible how they constantly keep us on our toes and keep us ready for the next events. So even when people say, "Oh, it's peaked," or "Oh, there's a lull," or it's slowed down, you look at these cards come up and you realize it really hasn't slowed down. On top of the fact that they give us still fight nights pretty much every Saturday, such as this one coming up this weekend, Moicano versus Sani. And so I want to say I have Moicano winning by some type of either decision or submission. Who do you got? Yeah. Wow.
Because Jalen Turner was about to finish Moicano, but I don't know what just happened to his mind. He didn't. He was trying to walk away. He was trying to do the Sean O'Malley feat, but he wasn't able to do that, and he got finished later on. But if he didn't, he could have finished Moicano. And I think Saint Denis has a whole different power. He did good against Dustin Poirier. He was hitting hard against Dustin Poirier, as Dustin Poirier said. And I think he's going to finish Moicano in the first round.
Very well. The picks are in. The picks are in. It's been really fun. It's been really, really fun. I'm gonna do this again. We're gonna slap this together in post production and all that, and see how it turns out. But for anybody and everybody, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
All right, man. Thank you so much, John. So I'm gonna see you next time, man.
Boom. All good. Record.